episode of Office Hours. Today on Jacksnax, we're going to talk about a few elements of guitar tone and I guess signal processing and stuff like that as it pertains to a Strat. I think a lot of people own Strats and may or may not understand how the pickups can work with or against the choices that you've made within your amplifier and its settings, and obviously the artistic and aesthetic ramifications of those pickup choices as to what spectrum you're going to occupy when you're the solo voice within a group context. So to illuminate that point, I built a little bass and rhythm guitar groove over the band song Ophelia, which somebody private messaged me or whatever and asked if I could cover, even though I think I've gone over the song before. It's my pleasure to do it again. Anyway, here's the groove. C major, E7, A7, D7, F7, G7, C, A7, D7, G7, 1, major 3, dominant, okay, to the 6th dominant, 2 dominant, and F dominant, and 5 dominant, and then 1, 6, 2, 5, again, all dominant. All right, so in case you don't understand what any of that, uptown lingo means, let me run through it, and let me get semi-aware of any questions that might come through while I have my head down here talking and teaching. All right, there we go. Nobody's on yet, if at all. Anyway, so here are the chords, right? Talking about C. This kind of thing. Okay, so that's like Your Georgia in My Mind, Hard Times by Ray Charles, Deal, any of those kind of tunes where we've got, that travel from, all of me. Okay, so that is a non-diatonic E chord, okay? Yeah, this is live. Yeah, hi, how's it going? So if we're playing from the C chord, okay, now that's functioning as the secondary dominant leading to this A chord. F. C, E7, A7, D7, F, G7, yeah, it is kind of rare to catch me. I'm a little elusive. So if you have questions, obviously feel free to speak up there. Okay? So the band tune, obviously has some cool classic sound to it. There, it has that old timey sound that comes from that. C to E7. That kind of thing. All right. So the other element about this that's pretty interesting is within the note choices. There's the deliberate applique of the minor third against these major chords. And that creates a very nice bluesy sound. And also the flat 7 against that F chord, right? Which isn't really an F7, I don't think. But if it isn't, it's in the melody. Okay, so first things first, if you want to learn how to solo over this tune, you're going to want to be, let's get this a little bit better. Nobody wants to see this part of my guitar. We'll go there. There we go. All right, so if we're at a C, so we're in like the kind of Wind Cries Mary, this kind of thing here at the 5th fret. And that's our root, and we're bending up to this melody to... Okay. flat third to the G, flat third to the C. Right. Again, see, that's over the. Tell me, where have you gone? Tell me, where have you gone? Flat third 2-1, flat third 2-1. Very, very, very common within that kind of Americana sound to superimpose that dirty S third going back down to the. Okay, so if we just learn that, we can bend it. And I think Robbie likes to do some of those pinch harmonics. Now, that note is, that's kind of a key note, right? When you think about it, we've got this sound of the C chord going. Then hearing this. That's the third of our E7. Okay, so the C is like this. And then the E comes here. Right? Or. And then up to the A. And then D. Okay. I'm getting callbacks from your sitting here in limbo. Oh, yeah. Similar ideas? No, I mean, the only ideas that are similar here, I think, is that I'm playing the melody. But sitting in limbo has like more of a blues structure to it, I think. This has got some more advanced changes for sure. Okay, no 1-4-5 element to it. So here we are. Same key, though. Okay, so that was over top of the E7 chord. We were coming up. Okay, so that G sharp factors in big on that second chord. Okay, and that's over top of the F chord. Right, that's that superimposed. Okay, that's like a non-diatonic flat 7. Okay, it kind of registers as a flat 5 out of that A minor sound or a minor third out of the C. That blue note being held up a lot against there. Now we've got an A7 chord to play into, so we're going to bend up to its 5th and then hit its root there. So that's playing over the A chord into the D chord. D. Okay, then. And that's the parallel minor third 2-1. Okay, then we have that little quick turnaround 1-6-2-5. So that's 1, 6. Okay, 2, 5. Okay, back to the C. Okay, so let's try playing through that again. Just kind of blowing through that little 1-6-2-5 at the end there. So that's going to be C, A7, D7, G7, back to C. If you don't know those little inversions that happen on the G, B, and E set, you should definitely take a look at that. Out of the C, major, C7, right? So if that's C7, that's A7. So C, A7, that's our D7. If we see this, right, there's the third, the bar is the fifth, and here's the flat 7 here. Let's just put this back here. That's our D7 sound. So if we're going C, A7, D7, G7, back to C. All right. Then we're going to want to find that same kind of thing. We did it here. Right? I played it out of here. Right? Okay, those are those flat thirds. Totally essential for this kind of sound, okay? And let's take it one more time. That's the strategy over and over and over again, basically just repeating myself in different octaves. But then again, you don't really have to do too much on a tune like this. You don't really want to have a big long jam. I think it's better to be short and tasty, which brings me to the next topic of this lesson, which is the tonal choices. What does this voice say versus this voice? Let's just take a little listen. Same strategy. Let's hear what difference this makes. Definitely got like a little more tubey kind, a little less percussive. This one has a scooped out middle. This one has a lot of mids. Even more mids in the middle here. Okay, this middle pickup. Whoops. back to another scoopy sound right here. Okay, that has that more, again, that kind of, I think Robbie liked those in out of phase, but you know, that he also liked to use a little phase. Last but not least, the bridge. Now that's going to have the most snark, and I would be most apt to roll down the high end. A little bit more. Too much. Maybe there, right? That's all the way down to like 3.5. Okay, a little bit more, much snarkier and nastier, okay? So, you know, I opted for kind of a kind of, it's got a little bit more of a fleshy sound, kind of squishy. Okay, that coupled with the slight overdrive and compression. There's definitely some compression being used here. You can hear it kind of squishing the sound down, especially here when you're... I'll turn it off. Let's see if I can do it with my big toe here. Off. On. Yeah, it kind of sucks in, goes. Much more apparent on rhythm guitar, like if you hear it. If you take that off, right, you get that. And again, on. Maybe a little less. If I turn off the output, oh, there's some delay on that when I do that. Here, if I turn off the overdrive. So you get that kind of snappier sound. Okay. Really brings up the mids in the middle position, right? It's not being split between these two pickups. When you do that, there's some, this is hearing what this is hearing at a slightly different time in a different place. And these two combined together cancel out and add. So it creates like a pit in the mids and a like more treble and more bass. So when you hear that scoopy sound, it gets that little. Okay, that plus the compression, and you get that effect. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so I think we're right back where we started tonally. Put my slippers back on. Oh, boy. All right, so that's how the compression and EQ kind of help create that sound of being a little fleshier and a little strained. Okay, it gives it that kind of really snappy sound. Okay, regardless of how much you dig in it, it definitely, hey, John, how's it going, man? So, well, I don't use compression all that often, except if I'm playing really clean or crispy kind of country style guitar. That can definitely happen. Okay, and as far as, the sounds that I'm accessing there, largely just following the old adage of C major pentatonic flat 3. Over the one chord. When we get up into the E, we have some options. Okay, we can kind of blues it up. I don't really like that. I tend to prefer more of a straight on. That kind of sound, right? So basically taking advantage of this chromatically ascending figure that happens off of the C, right? We have this G note that goes up. And then F would be then the G. And then 1, 6, 2, 5. That kind of thing. So when you start seeing those thirds, right? Those internal voicings, right? Not the roots. That kind of stuff, right? That's when you really start to understand how music works in terms of one line going this way, the other going the other way, the voicings and the intervals within the chords and how they create tension and release. All right, so that's kind of a difficult thing to just grasp intuitively. You have to break it down. Okay, so look at the G note here. All right, and how it relates to what's going on the G string underneath it. That's our C, the 5 and the root. And the next chord is an E7. Okay, so that means the third of the E7 is that, and the flat 7 of the E is that. So we're getting this effect. Or we could say the root and the 5th of the C, and then this would go up and one goes down, because that's the 5th of the E chord, the B string, right? This or that. Okay. Then A7. Then D7. Then F in its 5th, right? Then G7, right? That's the G. So that's the F of the G7 and its 3rd. Right? Oftentimes you don't want to think about what the root is. You want to think about the 3rd and the flat 7, or the 3rd and the whatever the 7th would be, right? So here we are. There we go. Sorry. Just doing these little studies on 2 strings. That's really, really helpful for understanding what notes you're going to be playing. how the story goes. Then take it up a position. Okay, and just keep going. Keep going. That's how I did it. That's how you're going to do it. I promise you. That's what has to happen. Smash-o. All right. Well, let's see. Did I have any other? Okay. Pickup choices, EQ, compression. I think I've pretty much exhausted the mandate of the title. And I'm not sure whether or not anybody's got any questions or comments or things they'd like to share. But if you do, that's great. If not, I will run away and prepare for my lessons of the afternoon. All right. Well, last thing I would say is don't forget, okay, we're looking at, all right, so we can hear that there. Okay, remember I was talking about, oh, hey, somebody just said hi. All right. Yeah, it was right here. So remember I was saying, if you're looking at, so that G sharp, A, that happens right here pretty conveniently too. Okay, so if we take our solo, let's say you get 2 times through your thing, right? And you're going to play here. Right, now you're gearing up for your second time through. See that G right there? Then we're going to go. So that's the 3rd and the E and the flat 7 of our E chord. So over the C, we would be hearing N. Okay. Okay, so we've got our C. Okay, then our E chord. So we're going to bend up to its root. Whoop. Okay, so that's the 3rd, its root, and the flat 7 of the E7. Then we've got an A7 coming up. All right, that's like an A blues lick. So sorry that. What was it? That's what I was looking for. Okay. So C, E, A, 3rd, right? Okay, it's a little too beboppy, but what the hell. All right, so that's all that there is, all the news that's fit to print. Kind of fun with all that compression on there. What was that? Kind of fun with that funky, dirty thing. All right, y'all. I'm going to take off, and hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Office Hours, even if it did sort of retread the last year's Ophelia episode to some degree. But we did get to talk about some things. Not that any of you really chimed in too much, so shame on you. No, I'm kidding. You can be quiet and private message me if you like at Jack_Divine at hotmail.com if you're interested in any questions or anything like that, or you can ask it right here in the thread below. All right, that's it, my friends. I'll catch you guys later, maybe tomorrow. Who knows? And that's it. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Office Hours over here on Jacksnax. Bye-bye.